As usual, the session began with the usual silent prayer, followed by the confirmation of conclusions of the previous meeting. Next to this were presentations of cabinet papers, beginning with the paper on Victims' Reparations Bill 2023, introduced by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. In his introduction, the Honorable Attorney General said the Victims' Reparations Bill has been drafted to guide the provision of reparations of human rights violations during the Jammeh administration. The bill was developed in consultation with victims, civil society organizations, and other stakeholders across the country, with the support of American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative and the International Center for Transitional Justice. The consultation focused on assessing victims' reparations entitlements and understanding the different types of reparations that will adequately address victims' needs. The bill has been validated by stakeholders at a workshop held in February and is now presented to Cabinet for consideration.
The Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commissions Act that established the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission made provision for the payment of reparations to victims that suffered human rights violations during the Jammeh administration. During the pendency of TRRC, the Reparations Committee carried out the assessments and took measures to facilitate and fund the medical treatment of victims that needed urgent medical attention.
Cognizant of the fact that the reparations paid by TRRC were interim, and considering the complex nature of the modalities needed to adequately and accurately access victims' reparations entitlement, the Ministry of Justice deemed it necessary to come up with a legislation that will guide the process, which provides the main reason for this cabinet paper. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice concluded in prayer with an invitation for Cabinet to consider and approve the bill and direct that it be presented to the National Assembly for enactment into law.
After a long debate on the Victims' Reparations Bill 2023 that looks at potentials and associated implications, the paper was finally granted approval by Cabinet.
Following this was another paper entitled The National and International Gateway Traffic Measurement System Regulation 2023 by the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. In his introduction, the Honorable Minister said government had agreed with the World Bank to liberalize the International Voice Gateway as a condition to fund the ACE submarine cable landing in 2012 under the West African Communication Infrastructure Program at the tune of $35 million. It was also part of the development policy operation conditions, culminating into the liberalization of the International Voice Gateway. The World Bank had also indicated that this liberalization policy cannot be changed in 20 years, beginning from 2019, the Honorable Minister posited.
The Information Minister Lamin Queen Jammeh said International Voice Gateway has shown a decline in revenue before the liberalization, but this decrease has been spiraling downwards for so long that it has raised an alarm to revisit the liberalization challenge and to put in place a national international gateway traffic measurement system.
This system is envisaged to monitor and account for all traffic in and out of the country, and thereby use as a mechanism to reduce the prevalence of fraudulent activities, improve revenue assurance through an efficient system of tax collection. The system can allow access to data required by any relevant government agency through authorized access rights and under strict data protection principles.
Following a thorough discussion on the cabinet paper, it was granted endorsement with amendments. This is the second cabinet meeting in 2 weeks as President Barrow and his ministers continue to strategize for a Gambia with a glimmer of hope in the long term. Louis Mendy, GRTS.